Show, rocking out to the tune, getting ready. So this is episode number 15. Episode number 15, we're going to be learning about using the power saw again, and again, and again, and again. We will be learning how to shave a 2x4. This is episode number 15, and this is how to shave a 2x4 with your power saw. Alright, so let's start off with what am I talking about here? So what is Rocket Ridge Rusty? What is he saying? He says shave a 2x4. That doesn't even make any sense. What could he possibly be talking about? Alright, you want to know what I'm talking about? This is what I'm talking about. Alright, so let's say you got, it could be any type of wood. You know, I'm just working with 2x4s here, you know, the Rocket Ridge Rusty pile. Got a big pile over here of stuff we're going to work with as we grow our knowledge and our learning. So shaving a 2x4, what I'm trying to say here is, let's just take this 2x4 here, okay? So it measures, you know, 1.5 inches, okay? So it measures 1.5 inches, okay? Now let's say we needed this to fit into something, or we needed like a mini kind of, it just doesn't fit, right? We just need it trimmed a little. Alright, so we're going to be shaving the 2x4 on the edge, okay? Let's start with let's get a mark here. Let's make up a story here. We're out there, we're working on something, you know, we're building this big thing, right? You know, we're going to be building it, and, you know, whatever you want. It could be a boat, could be, you know, a wall, whatever your heart desires, you're building, okay? You build it. And you have this piece of wood, and it just doesn't fit where you need to put it, and for some reason it just doesn't fit in you know, the end, okay, let's just say, okay, it just doesn't fit here. 1.5 inches is just a little too big, so we're just going to make a line here, okay? We're going to make a line. Remember how to do that, right? With your square. This square does so many things. It's so cool. This is like the most amazing thing ever made. Anyways, so we want to just kind of shave this out, right? We want to shave that out, and it just doesn't fit. Just a, let's just say a saw blade, okay? Now there's different ways this can be done, okay? I'm going to show you, I guess I would feel comfortable that it might be the safer way of doing this, okay? So we just need to trim a little bit, okay? So let's go ahead and set that blade. Okay, remember, you unplug your saw when you set your blade, or you make any changes to your saw. This way there's no power going to your saw, and you could be safe. Okay, but for me, I'm not going to pull the trigger, so I'm nowhere near it. Okay, it's just a tiny bit, right? So yeah, that looks good. We're just shaving the 2x4 a little bit, okay? And we locked it. Remember, you lock it. I don't know what saw you got, but you gotta lock it, okay? So now we got the saw set to a tiny little bit, so it's just coming out of the guard, a tiny little cut, you know? So we're gonna shave this 2x4 so it fits in your crafting project that you're building, okay? I'm gonna get you nice and close here so you could see what we're cutting a little bit out here. We're gonna cut that little bit, right? Just a little bit to, just doesn't exactly fit, right? So we're going to take the saw, and you're watching and paying attention, okay? And this is very similar to what we did before, where we just make a few, you know, multiple passes, okay? Now you see what You see what I just did there, right? I took the saw and I spun it, right? So I kept the control of the piece of wood on this side, and with the power saw, once the guard was lifted enough, then I could just slide it, okay? Now be very careful when you try this, okay? You have to be extremely careful. This is more advanced skills, okay? You can see, this is where we have total control of the saw, okay? So again, the guard comes up. Once the guard is up, okay, you just kind of let it in there, okay? And then you're gonna take your saw. See what I did there? I just took a tiny little bit out. I shaved it, okay? Now I'm gonna put this piece of wood, and we're not gonna do any particular shaving, but I'm gonna go deeper with the shaving, okay? And this is the Rocket Ridge Rusty Show, and we're, you know, this is episode number 15, and you know, if you've been watching all the episodes by now, you should kind of have a good handle on that power saw, you know, and that's what we're going here. That's you know, the ship has sailed, all right? We're going on that way. You got to just stay golden, okay? And take, you know, practice this. You know, if you don't get it your first time, don't worry about it. It's just like anything, right? You try to ride a skateboard and flip the board around, you know, you got to do it 100 million times sometimes. So just be careful out there. So now I'm going to set the blade a little bit deeper, and I'm going to show you I'm just going to be shaving wood here. I just want you to see where how my hands move and the total control I have, okay? Now we got both total control on the ground because the cord isn't near our feet. Remember, we learned that. We keep the cord away from our feet because if we step on the cord while we're cutting, it's no good, right? The saw's not gonna move. It's only gonna go where your foot is stepping on the cord, all right? So that's that, you know, you do those things. And, yeah, total control of the saw, right? One hand, I got total control. On the handle, my hand is away from it. I'm cutting away from myself, okay? And I'm using my eyes and my sense of feeling for the guard, right? To keep the guard away from the wood so that the blade can make contact, cutting, you know, shaving the wood. So yeah, I'm gonna set the blade a little bit deeper, all right? That's where I'm gonna start. And then I'm gonna shave this wood and just show you what is possible, okay? Now, I don't want any, you know, bird watching going on right now. Pay attention is what I'm saying, you know. Pretend you're in school, you know. You got to pay attention. So I just set the blade a little bit deeper. So now I'm actually going to be shaving like a quarter in, you know, max. You know, I can shave a little more if I lean it. But let's just get a line here. Just kind of give you a guide what we're shaving here, okay? We're shaving this. This is what we're shaving. At about a quarter inch. Look, this is another trick. We're gonna make another video with this, okay? I could use, you know how I use the tape measure and glide? I can use my finger and glide too. Check this out. See? See that? I don't know if you can see that. That's a great video to teach. All right. Let's go ahead and shave that wood. Now, I thought of something pretty important here that I should know about. Okay, so I think that I would say I set the blade more like an 1/8 of an inch, and being that it's set at 1/8 of an inch, basically what that means is if you set the blade too deep, you're not going to be able to do this technique. Okay, because it's really only going to go as deep, I think, I would say, of the teeth of the saw blade. Okay. So you see the teeth, right? The sharp groove point. Actually, I could get a blade and show you too. The teeth, right? because if you go deeper than that, that blade is just gonna kind of, it's gonna not work too good. So when you're shaving wood, it's really just to do small shaving, okay? Otherwise, you do the technique I showed you in the other video. I don't remember the episode name, and we could do it again if you need me to. So yeah, let's go ahead and keep going with this, but this is just, remember, you can only go so deep with this, okay? All right, so you see that we shaved, and I see how I stayed on the line. Okay, let's go ahead and do it again. So there you go. Now it will fit, right? So we shaved the 2x4 a little bit. Now again, when the guard comes off of here, you see how it got deeper here? That's because my guard wasn't sitting anymore on the thicker section. Okay, so this is an important little trick, you know, shaving wood. You know, the rest of it, if you need it, you know, you could do it with a chisel, right? Oh yeah, so yeah, away from you. You don't want to be doing it towards you. Always away from the hand. See that movement? Away, right? Because if you go towards, we can get injured. You have to be safe as possible. See, the most important thing I'm going to tell you is safety. It doesn't matter what you can do or what you can build or how good you are. If you can do anything in the world, you know, safely, that is your goal. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and summarize this. I hope you watched the full video and you know you learned something here. But yeah, let's just go ahead and recap this. Let's get you, you got your notebook out, okay? So again, I'm going to say this one more time. I mean a million more times. You know, you could build anything you want. Okay, it doesn't matter how good you are at building things. It doesn't matter how good you are at cutting things. What really matters is how good you are at doing those things and being safe. Because if you can be safe and do them, you're golden. That's stay gold, right? You know, if you can do them and boom, the saw, this and that, whatever, you know, you start flying off into space there, you know, with the saw. It's not good, you know. So yeah, we learned how to shave. This is episode number 15. Okay, we learned how to take the saw and glide it. Okay, and shave wood. Okay, so the key points here, let's recap them. Number 1, safety. Number 2, always cut away from the direction of your body or your hands or anything. Have total control of the saw. Total control of the saw applies to everything we've been doing and everything you will do or your imagination brings you to do with cutting materials and wood and such. Okay, what else? You have a maximum for shaving, okay? I mean, you set the blade too deep and you start trying to shave wood, it's just not, the blade's not going to handle it, okay? The power saw is not, it's just going to, that's a little sketchy, so don't do that, okay? Blade, you know, a little bit. This is for shaving little bits of wood out, okay? There's a piece of wood doesn't fit where you want it, and you want it to fit. So just set the blade a little bit, okay? Your guard, always be safe with the guard and how it's where it's resting. And then you always have your go-to chisel. Right? So this has been the Rocket Ridge Rusty Show. I hope you have a great day, and I hope you enjoyed episode number 15. And you take care now. Bye-bye then.